Well, who's going to come out on top in this game? Brighton of Albion, 53% of the votes against, 47% vote for Marc Marley. I mean, the one thing about Marc Marley, Redlat, that you can't take away from him, he's played in every single ePremier League, and he's only played for 2 clubs in his time. Bournemouth for the first 2 seasons, and Brighton of Albion ever since he picked up the controller in 2021.
Yeah, he's built a really good connection with Brighton, always representing them on the ePremier League stage. And Brandon, I think he deserves an ePremier League trophy. You know, after all these results, a second, another second, like, he deserves to eventually win a final, in my opinion.
Well, one thing that these 2 teams do share in terms of the individual players, as this long ball comes in, defender well there by Euro, is that Marc Marley did play Tom Leese in a grand final of the ePremier League. It was back in 2020. They are on different consoles this year, but there was a time where Watford played Bournemouth, and that was when Tom won the ePremier League, as Pedro Porro will win possession there. I didn't think we'd get him on commentary this weekend, but we've made it happen somehow. Tom Stokes, welcome to the broadcast. How are you, mate?
I'd love to be playing, but
yeah,
this is a decent runner-up, I guess. Yeah, and I'm excited to watch these matches. These are like unbelievable semi-finals, and expecting big things. Looking
back at your group stage, I mean, look, you came second against Liverpool in what was a ridiculously difficult bracket. And look what you're rewarded by. You know, a Spurs side that weren't that great, but had the chance to get a second bite at it. And if anything, that should have probably been a quarter-final or maybe even a semi-final. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, obviously disappointed to play them. They were really good. They deserved their win. So no real complaints, just disappointment, I guess. And I have to get it in quickly now, Stokes. A lot of people have been backing you on socials this weekend. You can see them in the chat now. They're loving that you're on the stream. Any words for those guys? No, honestly, it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, obviously, I would love to I'd have loved to have brought more to you guys, but thank you so much, and hopefully we can come back next year, kind of thing. Of course, keep your questions coming in for Tom Stokes. Represented Crystal Palace this year, has won the Premier League. Well, how difficult is it to win the Premier League? Obviously, you were teaming up with Leeds United and Olito when you did win. Yeah, I think this year is the highest standard we've ever had. I think, obviously, it's amazing to even be, like, past into the knockouts, like deep into this competition, final 8, top 4. Like, all these people are world-class players, not even just UK players, world-class European, worldwide players.
Stokes, as a man who's played in many tournaments over the years, been playing a long time now, what do you think is the difference between teams maybe top in the group and maybe coming bottom? What's the real difference in that?
I think it's just like
experience, maybe?
Experience comes down to, I think, just having a bad day, and I think that's why this format is quite rewarding for that, because you can have a bad day like Spurs did, and you can come have a great day when it matters the most in knockouts. So I think, yeah, for Spurs, they've turned it on when they needed to turn it on.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think another team, not Spurs, may have took it to heart, not played as well in the knockout stage because of that group stage, but they've bounced back in good fashion. But Marc Marley with an early chance, Travella off the post. NiKSNEB did not seem happy, a pause come in, but game has kicked off again, Henry running down the line.
If we had to beat you on the spot, Stokes, who do you think comes out on top?
I think this game falls entirely on the Xbox leg. I think these two are very evenly matched, and I think Jayden is kind of the wild card. I think him versus Tom will be kind of the decider. I think this game will be very, very close, maybe even a draw.
Tries to go for a little sprint exit there, does team in the Thierry Henry, who is wearing the #1 shirt. I've never seen that before, but that's Marc Marley's choice. Looking back on it now as well, Stokes, obviously 30 million coins this weekend with your draft. Was there anyone that you didn't put in your team that you would have liked to have maybe had if you had another go at it and we could go back 24 hours?
No, truthfully not. I think I love my team. I think Ibarbo, the new item, unbelievable. Had so much fun with him. And like, yeah, just having that much more of a budget this time around was great, to be honest.
Especially when the players' prices are dropping, Redlat. You could bring so many more players in.
Yeah, it's so interesting on the day of the lock of the draft, because you're looking at the market, you're looking at your team, maybe you're a bit over budget, you might have to make some sacrifices. So it's interesting, the whole team selection dynamic. It's new this year in the ePremier League.
Ibarbo just ducking and diving, massive save, Tim Howard, and cleared away by Erling Haaland. There'll be a lot of people asking, Stokes, are you still going to squeeze in a champ stream tomorrow for them tonight?
Yeah, I mean, no, not tonight, tomorrow.
Not
Funnily
tonight.
enough, I've been sat backstage completing the Hullet SBC. So
have you?
Yeah.
Is that a little spoiler?
So to speak.
How many coins did that set you back?
Like 1 million of my own coins, basically.
Here's a chance for Brighton of Albion again. Jovino. This time Henry tried to get it on that finesse, plus play style on his right boot, step over the steel, the ball just sticking. So the forward in the Brighton of Albion shirt, Bruno Fernandes. Hasn't really got the play style to offer a finesse from there, but can try and piece together an attack. And eventually, it comes to nothing. I mean, what have you made of these first 33 in-game minutes, Redlac?
It's been interesting. I think Marc maybe has been on top. No real chances, nearly had one there. But Stokes, what's it been like with these new players? We have some internationals, for example, chance coming in. Manu Bashir, Lex coming into the competition. How does that change things?
Yeah, I think it just gives more of an international reputation. Obviously, we usually have just the finals from the United Kingdom, but now you have these juggernauts, these ex-world champions from all across the world. And obviously, we've had it with Oli Lito, my ex-teammate, but these guys are like impressive players, and it's just made the standard go up, and it's made everyone just kind of know that they need to bring more to the table to win. Well,
look, get your questions in for Stokes. He will be joining us for a duration of this semi-final. I mean, you just said you completed the SBC, Hullet. I mean, have you been able to play with him yet, or is it a case you just sort of stared at him as you've completed him in your team?
I managed to sneak 2 games in just to qualify. He's phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, he's everything. He's just. Is
it Ruud Hullet back to the Ruud Hullet that we know?
Yeah, because he's got the passing now, and he's got everything he used to have. So he's a superstar.
We'll have to ask you, Stokes, who do you think is going to win the whole ePremier League?
I thought it was going to be Ipswich, to be honest with you. I think my favourites have gone, but I think I'm going to put it on Liverpool. I think Liverpool will win. I think like the experience, the ability. I think if Lex handles the Xbox transition well, I think him and Manu will be the best.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got a ridiculous team, haven't they, between the two players. Still 0-0 here as Brighton of Albion look to come in one of their last chances of the half. Jovino!
So nice.
Well, it was a pretty quiet first 44 in-game minutes. And it's Mr. ePremier League himself, Marc Marley, that has put Brighton of Albion in front.
Yes, really good play, Brandon. Henry to the edge of the box, a reset, we call it. One touch pass into Jovino, touch and finish into the near post. Marc Marley, it's amazing. And Stokes, you spoke about Jayden and being a wild card. I think that's no disrespect to him. His ceiling, his level can be so high, but which Jayden Groden will show up, we'll find out next leg.
Well, breakthrough at the halfway point in a semi-final, which means so much. A chance for Brighton to go back to the eChampionsLeague again. Which again, it's one of those, isn't it, Stokes? When you get this far in the tournament, and it's the worst game to lose this semi-final, isn't it? Because you win one game, Champions League tick. You win your next game, World Championships, and obviously the prize money and the Premier League title as well. There's so many achievements that can come, but if you fall now, it's the worst game to lose.
Oh yeah, obviously this is going to be the most pressure. This will be heartbreaking for whoever goes out at this stage. They've come so far, they're nearly there. So much to gain from getting into that final at the very least. So obviously with these kind of games, you get people who step up in the big pressure moments. I think Marc's a good example of that.
For Brighton though, they'll be happy with this start, Redlac.
I mean, you can't complain. 1-0 up. I see Yessi coaching, obviously helped me out in the EMLS respectively, and he just does his job. Marc Marley, this is what I've mentioned, the way he keeps the score down is so respected, because in FC25 there's goals going in galore after the patch, we all know that, in FUT Champions, in pro events, and Marc's won 2-0 in that second leg in the last match, and now he's 1-0 up. It's a really good game plan.
I remember that Man City game as well last year, Stokes. He's one of the few players, Marc Marley, who he doesn't really give you any reaction, does he?
No, he's kind of very mellow. You won't see much emotion from him, and he's just fundamentally so solid. He will not give anything away. He'd have to work really hard for every single chance, and he's quite gifted going forward as well. Like he's kind of flies under the radar. He delivers you the same performance every single time. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
One thing he does deliver as well, Redlac, is an ePremier League qualification. He is probably the best value for money pro player. He's been at every single ePremier League, And he's been in 2 ePremier League Grand Finals previously. All that's missing is the trophy next to him. Here's a big chance for Spurs! 2 minutes after the restart, NiKSNEB straight back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just it's really nice from Sneb. I think straight after the restart, Marc maybe not in the game as much. There was a little bit of a pause. Maybe you lose concentration, and yeah, straight into a Barbo. The best card in the game right now.
Have these FUT birthday items helped you this week, or have they just caused like mayhem?
No, I love it, to be honest. I love the choice. I love finding like new gems and having like fun with cards. And it's a bit of an imbalance with a Barbo because the left backs in the Premier League, they struggle to contain him, and he can really run riot sometimes.
Do you often ever check the market prices coming into this stage of the tournament? Obviously, you didn't know it was going to be 13 million coins 3 weeks ago. It was 10 million coins. Coming into it, yes, you have to submit your draft a few days before we kick off in the Premier League. Here's another chance for Brighton of Albion off the post! And Spurs are able to keep themselves at a 1-1 scoreline, but say 3 or 4 days out, Stokes, do you look at the live market at all?
Yeah, no, I was watching these FUT birthday items, and I was just hoping that they would slowly go down, so I had more like budget to play with, and they did slowly.
Well, Stokes, you spoke about the new gems, the new items in FC25. Which one were the gems? The Barbo?
Yeah, Barbo, brilliant. Trent, FUT birthday, fantastic. Who else did I love? Ruben Diaz, very, very solid. Not even that expensive either. Same with Trent. Like, they're very affordable cards as well, but they're top meta items.
Yeah, Trent in 40 out of 40 squads in the ePremier League. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You can see Tom Stokes' Twitch channel on the screen. I'm sure a lot of you know where to find him. He will be live tomorrow. Can you confirm a time you're live tomorrow? Is it the 10 a.m. slot still?
It's about 10 a.m, yeah. That's
about 10 a.m. live tomorrow. Stokes will be live. How many weekend leagues are we getting through?
We're planning to do 3, but...
3?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And what's the quickest you've ever done that?
It'll probably be like an 8-9 hour job, to be honest.
Yeah. Can you do 3 red lac?
No.
Compared to do about 10 games.
It's all a blur after a while, but it's good
Out
fun.
of 45 games, how many rage quits are you talking?
Rage quits? I'd say like a solid 36.
36
yeah,
rage
I mean,
quits?
Listen, I am one of those guys who I'll be doing the rage quitting, or they'll be doing the rage quitting. There's no in between, so hopefully quite a lot.
That attacking play style.
Yeah, just.
What about you, Red Lac? 15-0 run you'll go for. How many rage quits on average would you get?
Maybe 10, 11?
Yeah, that's about right. So, yeah.
Because there's some, Brandon, where you might be 3-4 goals up, the guy's not budging, he's not going to quit. That's completely fine, but save me a bit of time, please.
Especially on the Monday session where you just try to get it done.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to just finish their games before the deadline, so
bad tackle there. The referee's got a decision to make.
Well, yellow card for Moises Caicedo. If you are just tuning into the ePremier League, this is the semi-final stages. It's our first opening game. We're kicking off on the PlayStation, and then we'll be moving over to Xbox, where Jayden will take on Tom Leese. And it's an aggregate scoreline across the 2 games, which will determine who will be going to this year's ePremier League final. I mean, look, for a second leg, Red Lac. Oh my, what a run this is. Trent Alexander-Arnold on his own. He's going to cut it back. Marmouche can try and shift it onto his right boot, and it's a team of the year, or for birthday, Virgil van Dijk. That's in the way. Marcus Rashford!
It's really, really good play from NiKSNEB there.
Just taking matters into his own hands there. He is so quick if he can pull away and get the right touch.
Yeah, I like that. The use of the big touch there, maybe a spam of R2 or a right stick flick, but really good. He had a few passing options, Stokes. I think he could have played it in.
Yeah.
Obviously went for the run instead, but close.
I think realistically he just saw the goal and he just decided, you know what, let me just try this chip. Often does work, to be fair. It was really good though. It took Marc off. He was very, very surprised by that. Not many people play like that. Very elusive from Snap.
Yeah, Spurs into the semi-final after beating Ipswich. A big upset, to be honest, and I think the leg 1 set the tone. Stingray probably expected to win that leg.
Yeah.
So when it come through as a draw, Ipswich camp's probably a bit down, and Spurs are thinking, well, we can go on and win this. So maybe this result here, who does that favour?
I think, to be honest, it's strange because...
oh my days.
Wow. Marc Marley.
Marc Marley.
Incredible.
That is brilliant. He's been here before. And I can assure you we'll be here again in another ePremier League next season. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that build-up and the timing of that ball there to Thierry Henry.
Well, Brandon, I think he's answered my question for me. Brighton will be happy with this result going into the second leg, and it suits Jayden.
Doesn't even crack a smile, does he, Marc Marley?
No, to be honest, he's been good value for this 2-1 lead. He's been brilliant, and I think overall, I think it'd be fair to say he's been the more dominant player this first leg.
I think the last 15 minutes could be interesting. If NiKSNEB pushes for a goal, he's risking conceding another, and a 2-goal lead is really hard to chase in a 6-minute half.
Yeah, I think it's very important to remember you are in a duo and you don't want to put that kind of stress on your teammate. You just got to sometimes accept, you know what, let's just put trust in him, put faith in him, and don't overdo it in case it ends up hurting you.
I mean, even one goal as well, Stokes. It's not the end of the world, is it?
No, it's nothing. I mean, it's just, you just say to Tom, okay, you're going to have to win the game now. Like, minimum, obviously, 1 goal, and then go from there. So I think Tom's more than capable. So I don't think the Tottenham camp will be panicking just yet. But maybe with another, that's when things start getting tricky.
Question as well for you, Stokes. Only 2 players have put Rashford, that version of Rashford, in their team. NiKSNEB being one of them. From what you're seeing here, is he someone that you would have loved to have, or was just a coin value situation?
I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm the other person with Rashford. Yeah, I had him on my left mid. So yeah, he's brilliant.
Oh, that's kind of awkward now.
Yeah, no, really good item. Sorry, he's very quick, very agile. Obviously, been given the finesse shot trait. So
he's got like the best 2 play styles, hasn't he? A power shot, finesse, partner alongside the pace he's got, and
yeah, no,
love the silver play styles.
He's a really nice item. I think Sneb's been using him really well as well, because he's obviously very skillful, and that's what Henry doesn't offer you.
Keep an eye on Marcus Rashford now. Is he onside or off? He is onside!
Yes, that's perfect.
And speaking of Marcus Rashford, he will deliver a 2-2 and tee up his teammate of Tom Leese with a clean slate.
Brandon, the timing of that pass is perfect. The player lock, now he plays it. And look at that, good freeze frame, just onside. Then make the angle, use that finesse playstyle plus, which we spoke about. Really effective. NiKSNEB back on terms.
The timing of that, I mean, both the goals, the offside line was so close. I don't think Tom Leese can believe what happened.
It genuinely did look offside. I was half expecting him to raise the flag, but that impeccable timing, you have milliseconds to...
Hold on a second, Trent Alexander-Arnold, it goes through the goalkeeper and cleared out for a throw-in.
Wow.
That was nearly terrible from Tim Howard. Quick corner comes in towards the front post. And Brian will take a 1-goal advantage into game 2.
Lenny Euro special. I think I've scored quite a few of those myself. Just very good off corners. Not many people whip it anymore. A lot of people go for the short option, and great goal there.
They make it look so simple as well, red light corners. Like, it is simple. If you can get it right and you know exactly what you're doing in terms of the button configuration and the player lock-in, even players at home, you can add an extra handful of goals to your games in this weekend league.
Yeah, we did a bit of tactical analysis for it for the group stages. It's the L1 select is the biggest thing. Grab the guy on the near post, give square a bit of power, you move the left stick towards the goal, press square again, you'll take the kick and you'll head it in. It's really effective. And I think Mark deserves to be up.
Yeah. I think NiKSNEB will sit here and take this last attack. Obviously, worst case scenario, you're down 1, but ideally, can grab an equaliser last kick of the game.
3 minutes added on.
Hang on a second, we might not be done in this one. Cole Palmer, it's on a plate for Marmouche!
Quick one, NiKSNEB, maybe the bicycle kick coming.
Hang on a sec, quick corner. He went for the bicycle kick, it was Time Green, he was just pushed off balance ever so slightly. Erling Haaland. How does that not go in? Is it just one of those you do it 5 times, 4 times it goes in?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe green time would have helped, I'm not sure.
Marc Marley might not be done it. Is there a flick on? Marmouche stopped by Haaland, and that will do us at the halfway point in this semi-final. Brighton of Albion with a very small 3-2 lead. This is by no means done yet. There's still a long second leg to come up, as we will be surely but slowly leading in to the Xbox leg, as Jayden will take on Tom Leese. This is evenly poised still, so up for grabs.
Yeah, everything to play for. And if Tom Leese goes and wins his second leg by 1 goal and it goes to extra time, he'll be thinking, well, I've just won that game in normal time. I can go and get the result in extra time. So really interesting. I'm glad it's a close game. I think the emotions are there, and Mark really happy with that win.
Well, as you may have heard, we have got Tom Stokes with us on the commentary side of things at the moment. The chat is absolutely loving you. I mean, in terms of your streaming, so to speak, you've been so consistent across a number of years. The 10 AM slot, is it just, how many days, how many weeks have you been consistent for? I mean, the numbers are incredible.
It dates back to my first year joining Hashtag. I decided to make it a thing. So this is about 4 years now. So it's fun. I love it. It's part of the routine, it's part of my day. It's like it's my job, you know. So yeah, don't see it ending anytime soon.
First weekend leagues of the year. What were the viewers you had? It was insane.
Yeah, no, I remember just.
What was like the CCV, the highest number at one time?
I think we got up to like, because we managed to get 15 and I think we managed to get up to 16,000 viewers. 16, like numbers I would never ever expect or understand.
Well, you can see a handful of players that have been eliminated or still in the competition, watching on, supporting friends, teammates, and just enjoying the Premier League final stages. As we said, we have got Manchester City, Liverpool following this one in the next semi-final. But what can we expect from this second leg, Red Lat? Look, there's only a goal in it. I can guarantee you we're going to see a handful of goals in this second game.
Yeah, I think fireworks. Stokes mentioned Jayden Groden's a bit of a wild card. I think there's going to be goals going in. I don't think it'll be a low-scoring affair, put it that way. Stokes, I've got a question for you. So playing an ePremier League, something like this, a huge tournament, what is it like with that huge community behind you? Does it change anything? Do you feel more motivated?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously you get both sides of it. You get a bit more pressure, but at the same time you want to kind of achieve something that people will be happy with, you know, not just for yourself. So you're kind of playing for not only yourself anymore, which brings obviously, like I said, pressure, but at the same time it's really fun and you can enjoy your wins much more.
Well, we are loading in as we see now.
Come on.
Only one goal between the two sides. A grand final wait and 2 spots in the eChampionsLeague. There's Brighton and Albion take on Tottenham Hotspur in leg 2. And to be brutally honest, the first 45 minutes in leg 1 didn't really give us all the goals. The perfect start here from Tom Leese would be an early goal. Bring it back to a 3-3 scoreline. And have it all to play for.
I think with these two, you've got really contrasting styles as well. Tom is so pattern-based and he's an excellent presser. Jayden's a bit more freestyling.
Trent Alexander-Arnold! I thought we were playing headers and volleys in the box for a second there. He took a little bit too long on the shot, I think Tom said. He's surprised that Trent Alexander pulled that one out. There's a reason why he's in everyone's teams, not to be a goal scorer by any means.
Probably looking at Tim Howard there a little bit. For me, I'll hope for more.
I agree. A potential penalty shout. I think, is that why he's mad? I'm not really sure, but 1-0 to Tom early on. It's all to play for.
I mean, there wasn't even anything special about the finish, really, was there?
No. I think Jayden's got to be disappointed. But I think what Tom's gesticulating at there is it took quite a long time for him to get the shot off, which obviously I think he wanted a quicker animation on his player.
Well, look, we said what the perfect start would be. It's followed that script pattern at the moment. 3-3 all square here. Back to you, Brighton of Albion. Javinho into Marmouche, and that time Tim Howard will collect possession there. Chance to break away. That first goal has no doubt given him plenty of confidence. Tom Leese, an ePremier League champion. Previously with Watford, he's been in a final before where Tom Stokes was also in that grand final as well. It's just getting to a final in itself at this level of competition is so difficult, Stokes.
Yeah, 100%. Against Tom, I was lucky enough to be given a 3-goal lead by my partner, and it was an onslaught. It really was an onslaught. I had to survive, and I know firsthand how both of these players, like Jayden's so unpredictable. He's so talented going forward, and Tom, he's ultra consistent, and some of his patterns are unstoppable. Again, very good presser as well. So very hard. Both of these people are very hard to play against. So it'll be a good game here.
Yeah, how does it feel going into a game with such a big lead? Because obviously all the pressure in that matchup was on you. I was surprised and shocked sort of how well you've done. But yeah, what's the sort of play style going into it? Does it change?
Oh yeah, it's horrible to tell you the truth. Like you feel like there's no winning because the win's already been handed to you, and you kind of have to just kind of see it out. It's a really weird scenario to be in.
Lofted ball into the path of Omri. He looked for the extra pass there. We've got a few questions from you coming in the chat in a second. We'll play this free kick first. Is this a goal scoring area?
It is. I'm sure his #house teammate Shuri would be loving this one.
Here we go then.
Should be going keeper side here. Should be going. That's in basically right now.
Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is it a
Goal.
Is it a brace for him? It is.
Again, that's for you, my boy.
Forget team of the year, Omri. It's all about Trent Alexander-Arnold.
That's a really interesting play from Tom. Jayden making a mistake, a small foul. Tom just pressing L2 and R2, playing for that free kick, taking it and scoring with ease. What a free kick, well done.
Can you do anything to stop that?
You have to kind of outfox who you taking it, because if people like Trent, these guys are unbelievable free kick takers, so you kind of have to predict where maybe move late or bring someone onto the line, just hope for the best really. It's really tough to stop this year.
Well, yesterday on broadcast, I said that one's for you, Shuri. I think I heard the exact same message echo out. I mean, he teased it red lack. It's something that, no doubt, you would have saw on the #house channel. Right, back to some questions. Sorry. What formation would you recommend for a casual trying to improve Stokes?
Well, I would recommend, unfortunately, I'd recommend the 4-2-1-3. However, 4-4-2 is also a very good formation. We're seeing a lot of both of those at this tournament.
Chance, Mamouche! Well, he's phoning it in because he's just got 3 goals in 25 minutes. What a start!
No emotion from Tom Leese. I think that's a good thing. Keep it in. Don't overstretch, don't over-celebrate in case it comes back to bite you. Another good goal, and he's absolutely cruising in this second leg.
Yeah, he's been here before as well, and obviously such good experience. I think Jayden has the ability to bring us back. He just needs to keep his head, because obviously it is very easy to lose control in these moments.
In this moment, you're 2 goals down. There was a 1-goal cushion that's been waved away. If you're on the opposite side of Jayden here, what's the message that your teammate would love to tell you, that he physically can't just keep your head? There's a chance on Reed, defended well.
Yeah, it's all like Mark will have the utmost faith that Jayden has the ability to score these goals. He just needs to settle into the game and like start kind of stopping these attacks, because to be honest with you, it's looking really easy for Tom to get shots off, and when Tom's into this kind of flow, he's one of the best in the world.
Hello, how's Henry onside there? Tim Howard
Yeah, there you go.
had to be aggressive. There had to be a little bit of goalkeeper movement there, and we said about a way back into the game. That's certainly a way back for Brighton of Albion, only 1 goal behind now.
Yeah, everything to play for. Jayden needed that, needed the confidence, let alone the goal. A first-time through ball from Marmouche. We spoke about his tiki-taka and incisive play styles. A good pass, a good finish. Using the low driven as well, Brandon. We've shown all these different types of techniques today. Jayden back in the game.
eChampionsLeague spots on the line with this one as well, not just the grand final. The FC Pro partnered leagues from all around the world will play a pathway into playing in the ECL. A few more questions coming in for you, Stokes, as well. Who would you recommend as a cheap beast on Ultimate Team from the Premier League?
Cheap beast from the Premier League. I think you're looking at Ricardo Carvalho, the new for birthday hero. He's really good for the low price. Same with Ledley King. As for the attackers, I'd go with
Trivella?
Trent for the midfield, most definitely. And maybe Daniel Marlon. He's not that cheap, but I think he's a very, very, very good item.
Stokes, if you could use one Prem SBC, who would it be? Does Hullet count in there, or?
I mean, let's take Hullet out of the equation. He'd be a lot of money. I think the one that I would probably use would be Gareth Bale. I think he's one that I would have loved to have tried, but could have used his base item. But I think that the SBC is a very, very nice upgrade.
It's not a bad choice of that team of the year. Gareth Bale.
No, I like the Bale shout, but I'll just take Hullet. Forget the price. He's in the team.
I think he'll be in every single player's team here. Again, SBCs weren't allowed as part of the squad restrictions in this year's ePremier League. Had to be players that were on the market, accessible on the market, such as Victor Ababo, who is waiting for someone to make a run in the box there. We know where this one could end up. Decides to go short this time, but not for that traditional front post flick on that we have seen.
I think looking for that last attack maybe, slowing the clock down. He does have a lead going into half-time, so that's all you need. You don't want the opponent to have one more chance to score. We'll have the last chance. Maybe it's a 2-goal lead, maybe it's 1, but he will not be going in level.
Speaking of playing for the last chance, this is what we're going to be seeing from Tom Leese. Again, if you missed the first leg, it was 3-2 for Brighton of Albion.
+2. Veteran player here though. Like this is, I think a lot of the newer players or casual players mistake will make. If you concede right on half-time, it can be real demoralising, and you have no chance to reply off the kickoff.
Well, is that going to happen now? Any time of 2 minutes, we've crossed the 2 minutes, and that will do us at the halfway point. Only 1 goal between the two sides. There is still so much time left.
Yeah, so much time, and Stokes, we just spoke about the last chance, but the composure and the maturity to do it from a corner kick, an attacking corner, I really like that from Tom.
Yeah, I guess so. I think personally, this is probably why I'm standing here, but I think corners are such a good chance to score. So I mean, you can look at it from both ways, but at the end of the day, you're keeping your lead, you're consolidating your lead, so there's no need to make silly mistakes.
One question I just saw in the chat come in as well from I Am the Mayo. What ePrem player surprised you the most?
Surprised me the most?
Well, you can say a handful if you want, or just some clubs.
Some clubs. I think I was impressed with the Arsenal player Labs' first tournament. He's really unknown. I think he played a different game, and he obviously qualified, and he's come in and he's scored some unbelievable goals, and he showed a lot of talent.
He was a little bit silky as well, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Pulling out a few skill moves.
He's got a lot to his locker, to be fair to him.
Hang on a second. Keeper comes out. Tim Howard's has been a little bit too aggressive.
Lenny Euro corner here.
Front post flick on. We're all square again. 10 goals evenly split across the 2 games.
I'll take credit for that one. I taught him that one.
You said it a minute ago. Corners so important. Such an overlooked method of scoring, maybe for a casual player. But if you get it right every single time, you time the shot well, it's a guaranteed goal.
Yeah, I think a big mistake from Tom Leese when the through pass came in from Jayden. He didn't bring the keeper initially, and when he did, he was punished, gave away a corner and conceded directly from it. As you can see, he's not very happy, but that's not going to be good for him going into the second half of this second half, really.
I mean, play styles come into play across all of these big moments you see in finesses, corners. Is there a way the corners can be stopped if you can find the right aerial plus defender, or is it just a flip of the coin every time?
I think sometimes you're relying on kind of a 50-50 in the air, a challenge, but at the end of the day, if you switch really quickly to your biggest player and challenge for that corner, you've got a good chance of stopping it. I think Tom was I think he moved the keeper. I think moving the keeper is a mistake this year.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to win the header, you just want to challenge for it, maybe put the opponent off. What I like to do, Stokes, is put my tallest player on the front post and then select him and directly go for the header.
Absolutely. So
just offside.
Yeah, if Tom himself had Haaland, for example, he would just grab him, pull him across, and I think he'd be able to stop that.
Another question coming in for Stokes. Who is the best left stick dribbler in the Premier League?
There's a lot of candidates. I think Tex is up there. Manu is definitely up there. But to be honest, NiKSNEB, I think his box ability, like the way he dribbles, the way he twists and turns, he's the most unique attacker in the tournament. So I'd definitely say NiKSNEB.
Well, he was 2 goals behind Jayden Groden. He might be in front now.
Flying.
Such different games for him as well, Alfie, because he was 3-0 down in his previous matchup. Sorry, 3-0 up Jayden Groden, then gave away a 3-0 lead. At one point you thought maybe he was going to be losing his head. On this game, Tom Leese goes 3-0 up technically in the individual game, and he's been able to come back.
Yeah, I think Jayden Groden's a confidence player. When he's on his game, when he's playing confidently, he's so good. But Brandon, there's an issue. He gets very angry very easily, and I think that shows in his gameplay. Maybe he'll concede 1, 2, 3 in succession. But he's bounced back really well here, and he's back in the game and back in the lead.
He's a lot like myself. I think once you get into a state of where you're enjoying playing and you're attacking well, you can just build and build and build it, and it goes the opposite way sometimes, where you can see he's done really well not to lose the head and come back into this.
Look, still only a goal. That's a mistake. Can Tom Leese make the most of it? He'll get a corner. And we know what this could be. Decides to play that one short, and now try and find a way into the box. Which she's done a great job of, by the way. Keep it on a bar, but there's a little dink looking for the flick on into her.
I don't know if this is a new thing for Tom, but I haven't actually. This is the first time I've seen him utilise this so much. He's looking for that a lot. Obviously, Abarbo is very tall. I think he's like 6'2", has silver aerial, but it's kind of the meta from what we saw last FC. Haven't really seen anyone else trying this kind of stuff.
We saw in that earlier game for Ipswich Town, Stingray do that as well, Redlac. Sort of that little dink ball from Bruno Fernandes, look for the flick on. Here's another chance for Tottenham.
Yeah, initiating that player like with the left and right stick clicking in at the same time. That means Tom can move his Abarbo into the position he wants him to be in. The AI will take control of the ball, then simply press square. The player plays the pass, and you just win the header. The unfortunate thing for Tom there is he didn't have a passing option on.
He's playing a very brave game there, Jayden, a few times. Was up against the press of Tom Leese, keeping on the bow there. Haaland, no doubt, will come out on top of that one.
Yeah, Tom Leese's press, I'd say it's one of the best in the world, so it's going to be a scary few moments for Jayden. I think he needs to look for that goal rather than pass around the back or anything.
Abarbo, has he got the legs around? Has he got the angle?
Precision right there. You know, it's such a hard angle. Like you can't. It's such a micro movement there, and especially when you start getting shoved by the defender, it's so easy to put it wide.
Yeah, I think the shirt pulling really affected him, put him off balance, and Abarbo shoots just wide.
Let's have a little listen on the opposite side of the stage.
I don't need to go fast. Please, I do not need to go fast for the fucking life of it.
Apologies for the unsavoury language. Spurs, what are they saying?
What do you think? Still, you feel comfortable. You've been pressing it well. You're going to have to. It's 6-minute arse, actually.
Well, we caught the closing moments of that, and it was pretty clear of it's not long, it's 6-minute halves, it's not 9-minute halves. He's got to press, he's got to go for it.
Yeah, it's that time of the game. It's 95 depth time. It's bring your fullbacks onto attack or balanced and just push everything forward, really.
No doubt, on the winning side of this, you are going to feel so much pressure, Jayden. It's in your hands, isn't it? But is it in his hands for much longer? Abarbo, can he get the angle? Keeper goes down to ground. He gets a fortunate save from Howard. That could have gone terribly wrong.
I'd like to say he did everything right, Tom, there. Howard just did an unbelievable dive at his feet.
Yeah, ball over the top. Abarbo couldn't get it down. I think maybe Stokes keep dribbling towards his own goal until the passing option opened. But like you say, Howard with an amazing animation there.
Crazy.
Final 10 minutes. Tom Leese knocking on the door.
I think it's uncharacteristic from Tom, having such a big lead and then it just going away, shipping goals. He can definitely come back into it. He's that type of player. He's got the ice, but it's not looking good for him at the minute.
It's not. But it's just, it goes to show how good of an attacker Jayden is, that he can do this to someone like Tom Leese.
8 minutes away from Brighton and Albion making it back-to-back ePremierLeague grand finals, where they'll be taking on Liverpool and Manchester City for a shot at glory. Marc Marley's third time in an ePremierLeague final. And there's Tom Leese, can claw a goal back to send us into extra time. Again, he's trying to do all he can, Jayden, to hang on to the ball, take more minutes out of the game, but it just keeps on falling back to a Tottenham Hotspur shirt.
And these attacks, they're no different to any other attack Tom's had in the game, but they feel heavier. They feel like, oh no, don't concede, and that makes it so much harder to defend.
They are fresh legs, but I haven't used them. I don't really trust them.
No, I don't think subs are big.
They've got us as far. They've got us as far.
He says the word isn't trust his options on the bench there. I mean, I don't know, he's talking about the likes of Garnacho. Oh, it's probably his only...
Well, like you said, they're fresh legs, but he's never used them, so does he trust him to bring them on?
That's the problem. I think Tom Bench is excellent though. Bruno, Lavia, Carragher, they're all good options for late in game.
Well, NiKSNEB said if you get one chance, you'll score. Good block. Goalkeeper's going to hold it as well. That's big.
This might be... I mean, it might be hard to get the ball back here with the 6-minute half. You've got to see how much added time there is.
How much do you think Stokes too? You've played this mode a lot.
Not many goals in the second half. Is that? I'm gonna go +2.
If they give away the possession again, which they have done, Tom Leese, it is over to you, my friend. Added time of 2 in-game minutes to keep Spurs alive in the ePremier League. That's going to fall back to Brighton. He just has to hang on to the ball. Nothing silly.
That's it.
It's a long ball forward. Is that going to do it? Are Brighton of Albion going to qualify for the eChampionsLeague again? Yes, they are! Back-to-back ePremierLeague grand finalists.
How have I let him get away with that, man?
It's the same duo representing the Seagulls. Marc Marley and Jayden will be in this year's ePremier League final, where they'll take on Manchester City or Liverpool.
Yeah, an amazing game, a blockbuster. Brighton coming out on top.